Hello everyone. So this is going to be video 2 of my LeConte hike series. In this video, what I'm basically going to be doing is just giving you a full tour of the cabin I'm staying here, which is cabin number 6. So I'm going to give you just a tour of the inside of the cabin and just kind of show you things they provide for you. And then we'll go outside and just kind of show you the area around the outside of the cabin. And then we're going to walk around and just kind of show you the grounds of the lodge, the different facilities, and just how everything's laid out. So we're going to get started. Alright, so before I get started going over everything, I want to go ahead and apologize in advance because the lighting in here is just not really the best. So I do apologize for that. But this cabin is really meant for 5 guests to stay in, because you have a double bunk bed here. It's a double bed on the bottom and a double bed on the top, and there's also a twin. I got this on a cancellation, so I think they were trying to get the same amount of people to come, but they weren't able to, so they relisted it a second time, and then that's how I was able to get it without having to pay for 5 guests to stay in here. So it worked out pretty well in my advantage. But that being said, this is the inside of the cabin. When you open the door here, you have a fire extinguisher, and then you have some foam and hand sanitizer. And the cabin has 2 windows that both open. And then you have 2 chairs in the room here. And then you have a little table here. And you have an oil lamp for your light. You have a pan here. It's kind of like a wash basin to, wash your hands and things with and brush your teeth. And then you've got your matches for the oil lamp. And then they provide you some mugs so you can go to the dining hall and get you some lemonade, coffee, hot chocolate, or water. And I think the hours for that, the guy told me, were from 2 to 5, and then they close it. And then they open it back up from 7:30 to 9, and then they close it for the night. And then they've got a mirror here. Not sure if you can see that well or not, but there's a mirror there. And it kind of got some decorative photos. One of them is some of the cabins at the lodge. And then one of them is a sunrise or a sunset that's at one of the lookouts. And then you have a propane powered heater here, which actually warms the cabin very well. I've had it on for a couple hours and it's pretty toasty in here, so I may end up turning it down, but I'm definitely not going to turn it all the way off because it's very, very cold up here this time around. And then you have, not exactly sure what you call this, but this is something that you could put, hang out your laundry, or put your jacket up there, or I've just kind of got my wet towel that I use to kind of wipe down with up there to kind of just air dry. And then you have this block of wood here that has a key attached, which is actually for the guest bathrooms, which I'll show you here in just a minute. That stays inside the room. And the cabin itself is, I'm not exactly sure what the dimensions are. If I had to guess, I would say that it's probably 12 by 14 or something like that. It's probably not much bigger than that. And it kind of has a pitched roof here. And they also give you, when you check in, they give you a metal bucket here, so you can go to the water spigot outside and get warm water. Today it wasn't warm because of how cold it is here, but you can get some water and come in here to wash off with, or so you have water to brush your teeth and those type of things. But it is just me here, so I'm kind of using the top bunk to kind of lay all my trekking pole and my bag and my change of clothes and things up there. And I'm probably going to either sleep on the bottom here, or I may sleep on this twin bed. Both of them are pretty comfortable. I haven't really decided how that'll work yet. I think you feel the heat a little better if you're over here, but not real sure. But you do have some area right here between the bed and the wall, or if you wanted to put things, especially if you had several people in here, you'd need the space to set your bags and things down. And they do have this time the coat rack only had one hook on it, so I've got one of my jackets hanging there. But I think in the cabin I stayed in last year, it had all the hooks on it, so you'd have 3 or 4 to hang multiple things up with. But yeah, so that's pretty much the inside of the cabin. So we're gonna go outside and then walk around the grounds too. All right, so there's one more thing in the room that I wanted to show you, and I forgot to share with you in the last clip. But they have a binder in here that has some general information. It has pricing on wine and some of their merchandise and things you can get. But on the first page, when you open it, they have a sunrise/sunset chart, and this gives you the sunset and sunrise times for every day of their season. So for example, today is the 26th. The sunrise is showing 7:29 for the sunrise and 7:50 for the sunset. And then on the back of that, they have, I'm going to try to hold this up to the window so you can see it a little better. They have a full map with all the cabin numbers. So everything's labeled on here. And you can see kind of the general layout of how everything is. So you got the dining hall, the kitchen, and the manager's quarters are right beside of the dining hall. And you got all the cabins, and I'm in cabin 6. So we're gonna head outside now. So this is the outside of the cabin I'm staying in. It does have a front porch on it. 2 rocking chairs. And then kind of like a bench made on here where you can seat if you'd like. This cabin is actually right off the main walkway whenever you're walking down to enter the lodge area. It's been a little bit noisy, but as time in the day goes on, it'll get quieter and quieter. And eventually, after hours, later tonight, it will not be noisy at all. It'll be very quiet. But that's the cabin. So this is the dining room, which is a pretty famous spot for where people like to take pictures standing in front of. They have the elevation there, 6,593 feet. And then they always go up here and change the date. So they have the month, day of the month, and then the year. And right over here is where you go to get your warm water, which is not warm today, but at least it was still water and it wasn't completely froze over. And this building right here is actually where the workers prep the meals. And that's where they put the hot chocolate and the lemonade, coffee, and water too. These are some of the other cabins. I'm not going to walk around and show you every cabin, but I'm just going to show you these few since it was right beside here. And this spot right here is actually where they usually have the llamas hanging out here, and they have their feed in these baskets you see. They're not out here at the moment. I'm not exactly sure where they're at. So if the wind is blocking out my voice, I apologize for that, but it's just been a very windy day. So this building right here is where you check in. It's also where you get souvenirs. And they have some rocking chairs up there if you want to hang out. And they have a swing here. They have the hours on the sign here. They have a water pump here, but I think it's froze up, so that can't be used currently. This bathroom here is the one I mentioned earlier, which you have a key to. It's for guests only. Then they have a standing restroom too. I don't know if it's a trough in there, urinals or what, but standing only. And on the back side of this, they have 2 more restrooms, which are standard flush toilets. And these are the restrooms here if you're doing a day hike. You can access these. I'm not sure what the hours are that you can. If you're just hiking up here and you're going to hike back, or if you're up here and you get here early before it's time for you to check in, you can use these. And given it's early in the season, they're probably not too bad, but when I come up here last May, which would have been, you know, their 3rd month of operating, they were very, very smelly. Like, I'm not going to be too vivid with that, but you almost have to hold your breath in there. It was so bad. But definitely once you've checked in, you'll be using the others, because they're just totally different. It's just really like a standard bathroom. And they keep a lantern in there too, so if you had to go in the middle of the night, you'll have a light inside there. So this is the check-in area I showed you earlier. I'm just going to walk up here and kind of show you a little bit of the view you can get from up here. Looks like they put new shingles on top of the bathrooms there.
Are you here?
And moonshine. It helps.
Oh, please have them done now.
So I've walked up to the top to where you enter the lodge area. I just wanted to point out a couple more things. So if you go that way, that will take you to Myrtle Point and High Top. High Top is the official summit of Mount LeConte. I believe it's somewhere around 50 to 100 feet higher than the lodge itself. I think that's accurate. If that's not, leave a comment below and you can correct me on that. And then there's another lookout here known as Cliff Tops, where we'll be going later today to see the sunset, which will be in a different video. That'll be in the Rainbow Falls hike video in this series. But anyway, it's 0.2 miles that way, just a little spur trail. And they have a sign here too telling you to stay on the main trail. Alright, so that's going to conclude this video. I just wanted to do a quick tour of the grounds and the ins and outs of the cabin I'm staying in. Hopefully if you've never been here, you're just doing some research, the information I provided will be helpful to you. And also, if you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing if you haven't. As always, thanks for watching.